Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Saturday, October 30th, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 666 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Lava flows from summit in Hawaii volcano eruption. New Orleans shoe shiner who had his life savings seized by DEA agents wins legal battle to have his money returned. A reporter says Bruce Willis once made her wait 9 days for a nightmare interview and then didn't tip the waiter at the restaurant he forced shut. Ice Cube is out of the movie Oh Hell No over COVID-19 vaccine rules. A gay student talking about bullying at a Massachusetts school board meeting was shouted over by a woman yelling "This is the indoctrination." New poll shows Youngkin, fellow Republican sweeping Virginia. Trans woman Jessie Hart found dead in Oregon. Traditionalists flood Rome after Pope's Latin Mass crackdown. Survivor winner slams the show for forcing contestants to continue competing in their underwear after 41 seasons. Give them some dignity. Not real news, a look at what didn't happen this week. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. World Series weather, rain in Atlanta forecast for Braves vs Astros Game 3 at Truist Park, CBS Sports. Albany County Sheriff says forcible touching case against former NY Governor Andrew Cuomo is solid, CNN. Supreme Court won't block Maine's vaccine mandate for healthcare workers, The New York Times. Netflix employees at the heart of the Dave Chappelle controversy file charges against the company, The Verge. M1 Pro and M1 Max 2021 MacBook Pro tear down by iFixit, The Verge. FDA paves way for Pfizer COVID-19 vaccinations in young kids, Associated Press. Meta acquires VR fitness subscription service Supernatural, CNET. With NASA astronauts launching on SpaceX rockets, a tradition returns, flowers, NPR. Gigi Hadid left Paris Fashion Week early amid Zayn Malik, Yolanda fight, page 6. Biden to discuss intensifying supply chain challenges with G20 leaders, CNBC. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Capitol Police feared attack by counter-protesters on January 6, clown reportedly reveals. Ice Cube reportedly pulls out of $9 million movie deal after refusing vaccine. Supreme Court won't block Maine vaccine mandate. Emily Blunt credits the Sinagarten recipe for John Krasinski proposing. Supreme Court to consider limiting EPA's power to regulate climate-changing gases. Democrats are close to implementing big fines for illegal union busting. Lorne Michaels has revealed who he thinks is one of the best SNL cast members. Khloe Kardashian says she has COVID again, but luckily I am vaccinated. Exclamation point, the FDA approves Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. Biden says Pope told him to keep receiving communion, thwarting anti-abortion bishops. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Gender identity assignment creates controversy. 100-year-old ship will be preserved. $48 million in meth seized at bridge. Road rage incident led to fatal shooting. Ghost hunters invited to inspect haunted building. Bus driver brightens up school buses with. Thieves keep using postal master keys to steal. I was a bit overwhelming, 90-year-old gets over 100 cards for birthday. PD, man spat, yelled racial slurs over mask. Alleged attack by squeegee kid injures woman. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. Supreme Court won't block Maine's vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. Cuomo was charged without coordination with Albany DA, sheriff says. Mark Zuckerberg's Meta presentation was full of meme references. Biden eases fray with France and savors meeting with Pope as Europe trip begins. In this house, yard signs, and their curious power. Garland revives effort to expand access to legal aid. Emily Ratajkowski is a work in progress. Green card backlog focus of Democrats' latest immigration effort. Supreme Court to hear case on EPA's power to limit carbon emissions. Origin of virus may remain murky, U.S. intelligence agencies say. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Dorrit Kemsley's husband PK welcomes investigators into home after robbery. Lincoln Project admits to planting fake Unite the Right members at Youngkin rally. McAuliffe spokesperson, who also worked for Harris and Biden campaigns, accused of racist tweets. Former special U.S. envoy to Afghanistan sounds off on U.S. unfinished business in the country. Below-deck Mediterranean star Mark Howard dead at 65. McAuliffe's Fox admits effort to kill Fox News story exposing astonishing move on controversial hire. Trump, not even believable that Biden admin considering $450K for family separated at border. Jason rants, COVID vaccine mandate just decimated the Seattle police force. Braves Freddie Freeman goes to bat for Ron Washington with A's manager job open. Miami commissioners pass controversial new rule banning homeless encampments on public property. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Saturday, October 30th. The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Boris Johnson warns UK will do whatever is necessary to protect its fleet amid row with France. What if the cash spent on flood eco schemes went on new green tech that truly worked? Wealthy retired accountant is found guilty of murder. Breaking news, Ivana Trump's fourth husband, Italian actor and model Rossano Rubiconti, dies at 49. Prince Andrew fires back at frivolous sex assault lawsuit by Virginia Giuffre. Eden Confidential, Joe Wood is still in Rod Stewart's heart at Lincoln's Brasserie opening reunion. Prince Charles to urge leaders at G20 summit in Rome to translate fine words into finer actions. Rust crew member says he warned producers of previous film about assistant director Dave Halls. Cleo Smith family friends open up on Blowhole's campground search. Roger Mosey, scene set for radical reform at the BBC, but will staff activists change their ways? The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Biden calls handling of defense deal that upset France clumsy. The G20 becomes the showpiece for a dysfunctional global order. The history of meetings between U.S. presidents and pontiffs. UN aid chief urges G20, prevent mass starving in Afghanistan. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain expel Lebanese ambassadors. U.S. woman convicted in suitcase murder of her mother released from Bali jail. Mapping the worldwide spread of the coronavirus. Puerto Rico media petition Supreme Court in abuse case. Puerto Rico police go on strike, demand better pensions. Rape and pregnancy of 11-year-old reignites abortion debate in Bolivia. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. U.S. Director of National Intelligence releases declassified COVID report, Live. Prince Andrew asks U.S. judge to dismiss lawsuit alleging sexual abuse. Guantanamo prisoner details torture for first time. I thought I was going to die. Trudeau files last-ditch appeal against billions for Indigenous children. If we don't act now it will be too late, warns Johnson ahead of COP26. US FDA approves COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use in children ages 5-11. Prince Harry and Meghan appeal to G20 to keep COVID vaccine donation pledges. From E.T. to Stranger Things, take our Halloween pop culture quiz. 20 photographs of the week. Comedian had right to mock disabled teen singer, Canadian court rules. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Prosecutors urge prison for Michael Avenatti in Nike case. Former Maryland man sentenced at Guantanamo to 26 years. Watch, patient apologizes to hospital staff for not getting vaccinated earlier. Watch, hippo enjoys pumpkin at San Antonio Zoo. Doctors question sedative dose used in Oklahoma execution. Biden administration considering payments for families separated under Trump policy. Firefighters threaten state senators' staff over vaccine mandate while on duty. Fetty Wap pleads not guilty to federal drug charges. Overwhelming evidence in sex crime case against former New York Governor Cuomo, sheriff. Watch, Army dead returns after a year to surprise son at a football game. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Canada challenges compensation order for Indigenous children. Week in Pictures, October 23 to 29, 2021. The viral basketball star changing views on Muslim women in sport. COP26, African climate activists' message to world leaders. La Palma, living with lava. Saudi Arabia expels Lebanon ambassador amid Yemen row. Fetty Wap, U.S. rapper charged with drug trafficking. Biden, we were clumsy over France submarine row. California condors, virgin births discovered in critically endangered birds. Palestinian groups branded terrorists by Israel say they are being silenced. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Under Biden's new budget offer, choice neighborhood grants for affordable housing could be expanded to more cities. Alex Murdaugh saga involving death, drugs and more has attracted a cult-like true crime following. FDA authorizes Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for kids 5-11. Florida sues Biden administration over vaccines. Latest COVID-19 updates. Northern Lights could be a great show in some states this weekend, thanks to geomagnetic storm. Hell of a victory. Satanists convince Pennsylvania school district to change anti-satanic dress code. The day in pictures. After week of wild weather, Halloween forecast won't be as scary. Here's what to expect. Newly named human species just dropped. Everything you need to know about homobodonsis. At ground zero for modern civil rights, will vote on future of police reverberate across U.S. As Biden vaccine mandates loom, protests for personal freedom swell. What happens next? The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Pumping iron filmmaker George Butler, who helped make Arnold Schwarzenegger a star and a governor, dies. Sean Penn's core group faces labor charges over impassioned internal email. In-N-Out Burger closes all of its Contra Costa County indoor dining rooms over local vaccine mandates. Photos, Fright Night takes center stage with Halloween decor in the Southland. Newsom abruptly cancels plans to attend UN Climate Change Summit. A woman was stranded in the ocean for 12 hours, a novice boat captain saved her. Woman fatally shot in West Hollywood apartment building. Bullet train leaves a trail of grief among the disadvantaged of the San Joaquin Valley. LA should increase the number of city council districts, citizens panel says. Podcast, How the Los Muertos Flourished in the U.S. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Saturday, October 30th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. With coronavirus untamed, Russia suffers deadliest September since World War II. German photographer spills the beans. Jordan flew an IDF aerial drill. Emon's participation in the massive blue flag exercise had been a secret, until a German military cameraman posted a photo of a Jordanian fighter jet on Instagram. Kazakh children protest after skirt-wearing schoolboy's suicide. Canadian man finds rugs and frozen berries, offered $300 in points if he kept quiet. Myanmar military shells rest of town, destroying dozens of homes. Saudi Arabia orders Lebanese ambassador to leave kingdom within 48 hours and to stop all imports from Lebanon, a response to comments by a Lebanese minister who described the war in Yemen as a Saudi aggression. Russian urban exploration blogger Urbancher is sentenced to 5 years in prison for illegally obtaining and spreading abroad state secrets. Afghanistan's girls learn code underground in the Taliban gerbs. For first time in public, a detainee describes torture at CIA black sites. Incredible Roman statues unearthed in England's HS2 rail excavation. Police in England and Wales are considering using drone-mounted cameras that could film high-quality live footage from 1,500 feet, 457 meters, away, raising concerns among civil liberties campaigners. Greta Thunberg calls on banks to stop funding climate destruction. The Taliban is begging for Afghanistan's frozen money to be released as the country's economy spirals into crisis. Ukraine, not Russia, has control over a major trove of ancient Crimean gold, a court has ruled. Moscow shuts down as Russia sees record coronavirus cases, deaths. Russia has struggled with low vaccination rates. The next headlines are from Forbes. How to be a business that makes change as well as profit. Braves finally get chance to honor Hank Aaron in Atlanta ballpark. In-N-Out shuts indoor dining in Bay Area in protest of vaccine mandate. 3 warnings before you go see Dune. Facebook recruited researchers for products for kids as young as 6. Supreme Court rejects religious exemption challenge by Maine healthcare workers. How will pure play public LiDAR companies use their money? Zayn Malik pleads no contest to harassment of Gigi Hadid and mother Yolanda. The best new movies to stream on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Peacock and Disney Plus this weekend. Amid early fourth quarter clouds, a silver lining for the Sacramento Kings. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Abdul Qadir Khan, 1936 to 2021. Common antidepressant slashes risk of COVID death. When you recommend someone for an opportunity, follow through. The search for people who never get COVID. Coronapod, China's crucial COVID vaccines start to falter. Beware of rainbows. The faint little galaxies that could shed light on the early cosmos. Curbing fossil fuels and a look inside cells, the week in infographics. How sleep misperception fools people into thinking they don't sleep. Scientists' fears of racial bias surge amid U.S. crackdown on China ties. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,741,279,996 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. New shows from Korea's KBS, SBS, Format East get spotlight in Variety streaming room. Music industry moves, Jasmine Sullivan signs with Cobalt Publishing, Live Nation hires Jaybird. The war on drugs at Grand Oshil offers living proof of rock's relevance. Jay-Z and friends rise to the occasion with the Harder They Fall soundtrack, album review. Pharrell Williams hosts Elephant in the Room panel on Virginia's business importance. Walker star Lindsey Morgan to exit CW series after 2 seasons. Harry Styles to conclude 2021 Love on Tour with concert at new UBS Arena in New York. Rupert Murdoch's long-delayed 90th birthday bash draws Barry Diller, Peter Chernin, Roger Goodell. Get House of Gucci glam with Lady Gaga's House Lab Cosmetics line. Chihuahua Fest pays tribute to feminist writer and documentary pioneer Susan Sontag. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Astronaut launches are returning to the U.S. for each. This family sends NASA roses. PETA wants MLB to rename the bullpen to Armbarn. FDA authorizes use of Pfizer's COVID vaccine for 5 to 11-year-olds. Tonga reports its first ever COVID-19 case. Queen Elizabeth II is advised to rest for at least 2 weeks and cuts back her schedule. COVID's endgame, scientists have a clue about where SARS-CoV-2 is headed. With the latest payout, former Sheriff Joe Arpaio has cost Arizona taxpayers $100 A former Chicago Blackhawks coach resigns from the Florida Panthers' top job. GOP Rep Adam Kinzinger, who voted to impeach Trump, won't run for re-election. Mr. Rogers is surrounded by kids in a Florida college's new statue. The following headlines are from The Week. Supreme Court to consider case that could block the EPA from limiting greenhouse gases. FDA issues transformative authorization of Pfizer's COVID vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. The week's best photojournalism. Khloe Kardashian says she has COVID-19 for a second time. The problem with crying wolf about the weather. Letitia James, New York AG who oversaw Cuomo investigation, announces she's running for governor. The Central Intelligence Agency tortured this man. Americans should hear what he has to say. Ice Cube reportedly drops out of movie after declining to get COVID-19 vaccine. Puzzles, interactive crossword, issue, November 5, 2021. Solutions, crossword and Sudoku, issue, November 5, 2021. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Quick action let Hubble watch the earliest stages of an unfolding supernova detonation. The sun blasted out a huge flare in CME, we could see auroras on Halloween. Lightweight, flexible lens could be the future of space telescopes. These are the news headlines for today, Saturday, October 30th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Venus at greatest elongation on October 29th. 100-million-year-old crab preserved in amber. X-flare yesterday, aurora alert this weekend. Algol is the demon star. The next news is from Politico. The next coronavirus wave in Europe. Kiss and make war, Macron and Biden patch up France-US relations. Supreme Court declines to block main vaccine mandate. White House debates to delay Biden's plan for tariffs on key Chinese industries. Manchin upends paid leave, a benefit personal to the president. Jayapal warned Clay not to push an infrastructure vote, then chaos ensued. Opinion: it's not just Virginia. 5 other governors' races could determine the fate of American democracy. Missing in action at G20, global leadership. Mayorkas issues memo repealing Trump's Remain in Mexico policy. Albany sheriff promises overwhelming amount of evidence against Cuomo. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australians abroad jabbed with mixed vaccines okayed for return, federal government. Best of Cartoons, October 30, 2021. Australia COVID live updates. NSW records 237 new cases, Victoria records 1,355, nation nears 80% double-dose vaccination rate. On policy, there's less to Morrison's words than meets the eye. How Ruth and Leonie found the gift of conversation in isolation. Victoria records 1,355 new cases, 11 deaths amid eased restrictions. Goodbye, Facebook. Hello, Meta. Stud career up for grabs and Stallion making Coolmore. Meet the Independent taking on Craig Kelly in wide open seat of use. Back to work, family and life more likely with rapid antigen tests. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. The moneyest. I've been working for my millionaire friend for 4 years, she's never given me a pay raise. My husband says I should be grateful. The value gap. Hockey is toxic to black fans and sexual harassment victims who cannot speak up, but it's not irredeemable, new book says. I'd rather be a billionaire and not be loved by everybody. Charlie Munger shrugs off controversy over $200 in donation for nearly windowless dorm. Microsoft overtakes Apple as most valuable U.S. company after stock's best month since 2015. Market Extra, hedge fund seen facing heavy losses amid wrong way Treasury bets ahead of Fed tapering, traders say. Newswatch, here's the math for Tesla's stock price if it becomes the Apple of car makers. The escape home, Airbnb is thriving in these 5 unexpected cities. Market Snapshot, S&P 500, Nasdaq and Dow finish October at record highs, notching gains for the month despite soft Amazon, Apple results. The Wall Street Journal, Supreme Court agrees to take up challenge to EPA capacity to limit power plant emissions. Realtor.com, Trevor Noah lists $29.75 in Bel Air mansion less than a year after buying it. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. SA owes $100 million for copyright infringement on plastic security bins, Capitol Hill Times. Presidential number 28, TTAB sustains opposition to IAM the Mars generation for licensing services on ground of non-use, intellectual property, United States, Mondac News alerts. Symposium recap, Security, Privacy and Innovation, Reshaping Law for the AI Era, Just Security. Common types of insider threats that can cause breaches, Security Boulevard. Executive Order on Promoting Competition in the American Economy, a focus on patent and drug law to reduce healthcare spending, intellectual property, United States, Mondac News alerts. Interview, China a major contributor to intellectual property protection, says WIPO chief, China.org CN. Renowned researchers, policymakers, and academic leaders to converge in Tampa, FL for NI conference, PR Newswire. Can machines be inventors? Lexology. Artificial Intelligence and IP, consultation on copyright and patents legislation, Gov UK. Inventor of the Year Award winners 2021, Ericsson. The next headlines are from Quartz. The Federal Trade Commission wants to make it easier for you to cancel subscriptions. We are addressing vaccine hesitancy among pregnant women the wrong way. Last-minute Halloween costumes ripped from the headlines. Chip makers are threatening to scrap future U.S. factories without generous tax breaks. Sweet Green warns that remote work is a threat to its success. Which world leaders will, and won't, be at COP26? What Facebook could learn from Walmart. Why Uber cares that Hertz is buying 100,000 Teslas. How to write a book. The latest U.S. GDP report shows how far inventories have to go to catch up with demand. The following headlines are from TechDirt. The faintest hint of regulatory accountability has Tesla acting like an adult. As prudes drive social media takedowns, museums embrace OnlyFans. Swiss court says Proton Mail isn't obligated to retain data on users. Everything you know about Section 230 is wrong, but why? Daily Deal, the 2021 all-in-one computer science bundle. NY Times continues its inability to report accurately on Section 230 and content moderation. Tired of federal apathy, Oakland moved to ban anti-competitive broadband landlord deals. Public records plumb the depths of Illinois law enforcement's accountability black hole. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Kristen Chenoweth, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Kaepernick, Tommy Fury, Amazon driver fired, Joe Biden administration, Afghanistan versus Pakistan, PSG versus Lil, Paranormal Activity, next of kin. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Nazis allegedly supporting Republican candidate with tiki torches revealed to be a false flag stunt by Lincoln Project. Prince Andrew asks U.S. court to dismiss sex assault lawsuit by Epstein accuser Jeffrey, or provide more definitive allegations. Oh hell no, Ice Cube ditches movie and $9 million after refusing to get COVID-19 vaccine. Barrett, Kavanaugh leads SCOTUS in denying relief to religious Maine healthcare workers objecting to COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Lionel Messi subbed at halftime as wait goes on for his first League One goal, and PSG hit back to earn win after legend is replaced. COVID-19 neither bioweapon nor genetically engineered, U.S. intel says, but hints if China doesn't cooperate it can reconsider. Gazprom strikes gas supply deal with Moldova on mutually beneficial terms, averting emergency. We gotta take these mother of cares out, Rutgers professor says white people committed to being villains. Tunisia reports dismantling to ISIS-linked cells and A's, one cell was planning attacks. Saudi-led Premier League investment is extremely bitter blow for human rights, rails amnesty boss ahead of showdown talks. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Dan Bongino ends radio program in vaccine mandates battle with employer. Janet Yellen flip-flops, insists Biden's BBB plan will actually help suppress inflation. South Dakota Governor Noem signs order to protect state employees from Biden's vaccine mandate. Lincoln Project Democrat operateds busted for white nationalist hoax. Poison frogs, U.S. urged to make Taiwan Islands too painful for China to seize in response to war game results. Tucker rips lying coward Liz Cheney after she joins Democrat meltdown over his J6 expose. Latest Lancet study exposes limits of vaccines at preventing COVID infection. Largest U.S. homeowner raises rents as housing crunch persists. Uranium bull case strengthens as Japan calls nuclear key to its decarbonization goals. Cuomo arch-rival Letitia James launches campaign for governor of New York. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Just how strong is the Chinese military? U.S. makes another attempt to end the Remain in Mexico program. Greek PM voices concern over West's stance towards Turkey. UN renews peacekeeping mission in Western Sahara, calls for talks. Microsoft becomes world's most valuable stock as Apple dips. U.S. FDA authorizes Pfizer COVID-19 jab for kids aged 5 to 11. EU halts funds to WHO and DRC over sex abuse scandal. Ethereum cryptocurrency soars to an all-time high. Saudi Arabia bans all imports from Lebanon, expels ambassador. Canada's top court backs comedian who mocked disabled singer. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Establishment media parrots Barack Obama on Loudoun County sexual assault. Terry McAuliffe mocked over viral picture of Youngkin supporters with tiki torches. Biden's $450K reparations for border crossers exceeds payments to 9/11 victims, American military families. NY Sheriff, overwhelming amount of evidence in Andrew Cuomo sex crime case. Cuba, regime thugs gang beat, spit on political prisoner to terrorize fellow inmates. Report, Fauci's Nidivision funded hundreds of ticks sucking on puppies alive. Washington Post poll, education #1 issued in Virginia governor's race. Photos, knitters donate 23,400 sweaters for Operation Christmas Child. Blackburn, Biden spending plan a socialist wish list. Coronavirus panic, China quarantines entire trains heading into Beijing. The next headlines are from UPI News. Man buys 20 identical lottery tickets, wins 20 times for $100,000 total. Watch, big snake found in bushes behind Chicago area home. Watch, California man wades into floodwaters to rescue drowning kitten. Sealed copy of Super Mario Bros. 2 sells for $88,550 in estate sale. Dutch University's rare penis plant blooms. Watch, Welsh woman's Harry Potter collection earns Guinness World Record. Watch, Japanese startup takes hoverbike for a spin around racetrack. Man spins football on his finger for 21.66 seconds, sets Guinness record. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Ryan Reynolds and Always Sunny star go to first match as new owners of football club, didn't expect to drink so much. They've turned a VW bus into a livable pontoon boat. Destroyed by fire, drought, and dust storms, these Australian marshes needed only 2 years to completely recover. Inaugural Balloon World Cup pits athletes diving in the living room to keep it aloft. Tap water produces a protective shield against microplastics, scientists discover. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Saturday, October 30th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Naked and armed New Jersey mansion owner confronts would-be thief. Meta shares spike, but it's a Canadian materials company, not the rebranded Facebook. Texas nurse sentenced to death for fatally injecting 4 heart patients with air. Surgeon fined for leaving operating room to eat lunch in his car, then falling asleep until later that night and missing the procedure. Romantic encounters between Cuban zoo animals surge during quarantine quiet. Don't be cruel, bar owner seeks return of stolen Elvis bust. Vatican to exorcists, please don't try to cast COVID out of people. Reality TV's absurd new extreme. Does this Godzilla nebula really look like a space lizard? The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Why flat earthers are a clear and present threat to an AI-powered society. This top-rated Mac app is how you can finally get that crazy workflow under control. What do people with infinity tattoos think of Meta's logo? Fixed versus detachable e-bike batteries, which one is right for you? This new $15 Raspberry Pis like Mana for at-home programming projects. NASA's Juno mission reveals the depth and structure of Jupiter's colorful bands and shrinking red spot. An exhaustive investigation into Mark Zuckerberg's saucy bookshelves. Here's why investment in e-bikes is booming. The park's dish is 60, but it's still making major scientific breakthroughs. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Cause of Alzheimer's progression in the brain. This squirrel watches its neighbor's back. Morro Bay seagrass loss causes change in fish populations. Innovative chip resolves quantum headache. High availability of fast food restaurants across all U.S. neighborhood types linked to higher rates of type 2 diabetes. Drones show promise in speeding up communication with underwater robots for ocean surveys. Linking the past and present, reconstructing the dragonfly and damselfly family tree. Why do humans possess a twisted birth canal? Researchers set ultra-broadband record with entangled photons. Meanders in riverbeds help the climate. The next headlines are from Information Week. Wi-Fi serve turn to microservices for API development. How DevSecOps adoption can help you gain a competitive advantage. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Saturday, October 30th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA, National Geographic partner to show inside Artemis moon mission. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Police work to ID hit-and-run driver who struck 64-year-old in Mill Creek. Voting obstacles remain for Utahns who don't speak much English. Angelina Peña, everyone wins when we lift families out of poverty. Bagley cartoon, Metamorphosis. Does Salt Lake really want potentially violent 2024 Republican National Convention? George Pyle asks. Mysterious mass texts hit Draper City Council race. Biden, Pope Francis called me a good Catholic, said to keep receiving communion. Utah still has $200 MTO spend on childcare. This is how leaders want to spend it. Policing emerges as the issue in Salt Lake City's ballpark area and District 5 race. FDA paves way for Pfizer COVID-19 vaccinations in young kids. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Toyota unveils its first all-electric car. Ransomware has disrupted almost 1,000 schools in the U.S. this year. Pacific lingcod, an omnivorous fish, gains and loses 20 teeth each day. Scientists discover new phase of water, known as superionic ice, inside planets. Billionaire seeks to build largely windowless dorm in social and psychological experiment. Gao recommends re-evaluation of proposals for $10 billion NSA cloud contract. A $20 billion company's future hinges on the new PUBG. Apple's most back-ordered new product is not what you expect. Global regulators back tougher rules to prevent criminals from using crypto. U.S. says it's working with Taiwan to secure chip supply chain. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Missouri high school crowns first male student homecoming queen. These states are sending the most people to Missouri. Police need help identifying human remains found in North St. Louis County. Paula Sims, who was convicted of killing her daughters, was released from prison Friday. Lake St. Louis man charged in 2019 murder arrested in California. Flags flying at Taft staff in Missouri Saturday to honor a fallen soldier. Mayor Jones doesn't flinch as gunshots ring out at press conference. Mask mandate extended in St. Louis for another 30 days. Volunteers needed to set up flags for Officer Tyler Timmons' funeral. List of Halloween weekend events in St. Louis. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Newsom cancels trip to UN climate conference over family obligations. White House renews bid to end Remain in Mexico policy. Suspected DUI driver dies after swerving into truck near rural school. Student wears KKK costume to California high school. Arrest made in City Heights deadly shooting. El Cajon mayor helps save woman from dog attack, one of the worst things I've ever seen. Deputies, man leads high-speed chase in stolen Oldsmobile Cutlass. Flight attendant's nose broken in assault by passenger during service to SoCal, union says. Homeowner sue city, FAA over planned removal of palm trees. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. The Blonde, the Hong Kong TV series that defined a generation. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Saturday, October 30th, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Another affordable housing project in East San Jose on the horizon. De los Muertos, what to know. Queen Elizabeth urged by doctors to rest for 2 weeks. PETA wants to rename the bullpen to Armbarn. Is a Snapchat message making schools all over the country locked down? Boston doctor fined $5,000 for leaving or to eat in his car, sleeping through scheduled surgery. Family calls pool worker a monster after he admits to killing their 16-year-old dog. 4 takeaways from the Gabby Petito special report. Lockdown lifted at Del Roble Elementary in San Jose. Elizabeth Holmes trial, audio tapes released by prosecutors. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Miami midfielder Federico Higuaín to retire after MLS season. Bears injury report, Khalil Mack ruled out for Sunday's game versus 49ers. Pandemic reevaluation leads to Gurney couple's business venture in downtown Libertyville. Lawyer, SEC should go to Senator Burr first in stock sale probe. Mount Prospect Planning Panel recommends Randhurst subdivision. Sheriff defends filing of criminal complaint against Cuomo. Blackhawks ask Hall of Fame to cover accused assistant's name on Stanley Cup. The time to move on is now. Adam Kinzinger won't run again for Congress in 2022. COVID-19 booster shots surpass 667,000. Daily infection averages slide in October. Cast into face primary challenge even after winning remap fight. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Look up, Western Washington could get a rare glimpse of the aurora borealis this weekend. City launches 16M Seattle Relief Fund, who qualifies, and how to apply. Halloween pub crawl, costumed races, ghostly shows and more happening in Seattle this weekend. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.5 m, depth 10 km, in Chromatic Islands region October 29, 2021, 19:40 to UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Green alert for tropical cyclone Malau 21, population affected by category 1, 120 kilometers per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Peru, Paraguay. Volcanic eruption is ongoing for La Palma in Spain. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. Drought is ongoing in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Italy, Serbia. Drought is ongoing in Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in China, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Saturday, October 30th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. NAACP calls on athletes not to sign with Texas teams due to recent legislation. Beautiful weekend ahead. Mayor Turner could get this in friendly World Series wager with Atlanta Mayor. Zayn Malik pleads no contest to harassing girlfriend Gigi Hadid, mom. 13 investigates, city hides details and documents as council passes on housing probe. College professor flies with the Blue Angels, achieves lifelong dream. Derek Chauvin jurors speak for first time, recalling traumatic experience and that lightbulb moment. Man arrested in case of jogger sexually assaulted at Memorial Park in September, HPD says. Live with Kelly and Ryan go out of this world for Halloween episode. Timeline, what we know so far about murder of 8-year-old Kendrick Lee. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Giant Eagle settles pharmacy lawsuits with Ohio counties. Jamaica will allow 5,000 fans for World Cup qualifier versus U.S. The latest, preparations underway to get field ready. Injuries keep piling up along with victories for Packers. Pending free agent Freeman wants to stay with Braves. Aluminum shortage disrupts Montana license plate production. Beautiful day for a neighbor, Mr. Rogers has a sculpture. Lawmaker duck fined for video conferencing from operating room. Trustees oust Las Vegas schools chief amid district turmoil. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo to appear in court November 17, sheriff says. Extra extra, mozzarella sticks never go out of style. Facing mandate, 15,000 NYC municipal workers get COVID vaccines, but twice as many holdouts remain. As Murphy, Cigarelli pitch post-pandemic future, labor shortage slows recovery. They're scared of talking about this issue. In suburban Nassau County, Democrats are steering away from criminal justice reform. NYPD officers begin filing for retirement ahead of COVID vaccine deadline. 60 years ago today, Bob Dylan kicked off his career with a made-up backstory for WNYC. NYC public school enrollment falls to 938,000 in latest preliminary numbers. She's running for governor. Here's more on Letitia James. Coronavirus stats, back to school edition, tracking outbreaks in NYC education. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Security Council adopts first-of-its-kind resolution on protecting classrooms from conflict. Ahead of Sudan protests, UN chief asks military to show restraint. World leaders urge to prioritize action on water and climate. From Taliban to Taliban, cycle of hope, despair on women's rights. With crisis deepening in Mali, UN top envoy says all is not lost. Any end to this suicidal war? More lethal gases and fewer, weaker sinks. Serious risk COP May 26 not deliver, warns Scooters, urging more climate action. COP26, climate emergency includes threat of nuclear winter. COP26, the heat is on, but climate leadership is off, warns UN report. COP26, the roadmap plotting the way to a historic meeting, or not. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. 90% of Germans who haven't had the vaccine say they won't get it. Andrew Cuomo faces misdemeanor sex crime complaint. White people, you are the problem, AT&T's internal racial re-education program leaked. A distributed capacity for violence, a brief history of weapons technology and political power. Twitter censors trailer of upcoming documentary exposing anti-white racism. Death on Alec Baldwin set with Colt.45 to be investigated by law firm whose partners investigated Kennedy assassination, Lehman bankruptcy and Citigroup settlement. Next, 1,000 private jets will assemble in Davos to execute the Great Reset. Vaccinated people just as likely to spread the Delta variant as the unvaccinated, year-long study shows. Minnesota school board orders parents to announce their home address before speaking at public meeting despite risk of making them targets for violence. Julian Assange, a timeline of events. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Does this video show two fluids becoming unmixed? Watch, Pixar releases trailer for new Buzz Lightyear flick. What we know about the breast cancer vaccine. Is it okay to go trick-or-treating during the pandemic? Asian spider takes hold in Georgia, sends humans scurrying. Are these Halloweeners a genuine product? Did PETA ask MLB to rename Bullpen Arm Barn? With latest payout, Arizona sheriff has cost taxpayers $100 Rapper Fetty Wap arrested on federal drug charges in NYC. Decorating a cake with glitter? Check that it's edible. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Charlottesville victim faces down rally organizers in court. Second official quits after Ohio's critical race theory freakout. Pro-QAnon voting clerk under investigation after voting equipment goes missing. Ice Cube loses $9 million film gig after refusing to get vaccinated. We just got a lot closer to finding a cure for Alzheimer's. Paul wears blackface, claims it's not racist, then compares himself to Dave Chappelle. He won big at a casino, and was murdered by a stranger who trailed him home, cops say. Alex Murdaugh's own brother joins army of lawyers gunning for his cash. Scouted gift pick, the TCL 50 inches 4K QLED Smart Google TV. Fetty Wap arrested at music festival in multi-million-dollar drug bust. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Jaime King breaks up with activist Bo Sennett D. Vermont. Fantasy football, Teddy Bridgewater provides starter value versus Washington. NYC Councilman Robert Holden, I was falsely accused of racism but I'm fighting back, and so should you. Prince Andrew says Epstein accuser out for payday with latest suit. DiNapoli rightly pulls pension cash from Israel boycotting Ben & Jerry's. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Snapshot I, Hubble spies a galactic jack-o'-lantern. Found, the first exoplanet outside of our Milky Way. The sky this week, catch some ghostly sights. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. CBSN Originals presents Reverb, a city under surveillance. FDA authorizes Pfizer COVID vaccine for kids 5 to 11. FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID vaccine for kids as young as 5. Scientists believe they've spotted first planet outside the Milky Way. The science of fear and why we seek it out. SpaceX readies Crew Dragon for Halloween launch. Millions of huge invasive spiders from Asia take hold in Georgia. California condors can have virgin births, study finds. How life could change with every uptick in the temperature. New phase of water, known as superionic ice, discovered inside planets. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. Top 10 questions I'd ask an alien from the Galactic Federation. Here are 5 things serious scientists believe about extraterrestrial life. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Attorney General Tish James officially enters New York governor's race. Adam Kinzinger will not seek re-election, but says his political career is just getting started. NY elects Governor Hochul, Eric Adams react to criminal groping charges against Cuomo. Albany sheriff defends forcible touching charges against former New York Governor Cuomo. NYC mayoral candidate Curtis Sliva breaks arm in Manhattan cab crash. I'm like a cat that has 9 lives. Biden tells Francis Macron that the U.S. was clumsy in Australia's submarine deal. U.S. woman convicted in Bali suitcase murder released early from jail. 4 detained for stealing 22 bikes from Italy's national cycling team. Governor Hochul, Senator Schumer shower love on Eric Adams ahead of NYC mayoral election. New details in tangled murder mystery case to air on 48 hours. The following headlines are from military.com. U.S. too deep in relations with Taiwan in face of China tensions. Prisoner gives Guantanamo court first account of Central Intelligence Agency abuse. Biden versus Macron, first meeting since submarine dispute. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Chicago's vaccine mandate survives 2 challenges Friday as U.S. judge and city council refuse to pause shot requirement. Fallout of new Illinois congressional map was swift, forcing some incumbents to make tough decisions. Chicago gets 5 casino proposals, including from Bally's, Hard Rock and Rivers Casino co-owners. Days before water shortage, Dixmoor laid off most of its public works employees. COVID-19 vaccines for kids 5 to 11, UFC medicine doctor to answer parents' questions on Facebook Live. 3 people report being drugged at off-campus gatherings in Evanston, according to Northwestern Alert. One of America's last remaining native birch bark canoe builders launches elaborate 16-foot hunting boat constructed at Northwestern. We don't just take, we give back. Eric Ferguson stepping away from the Mixed Morning Show, vows to defend himself from allegations of inappropriate behavior. 5th suspect in slaying of Chicago rapper FBG Duck arraigned on federal racketeering charges. Convicted singer R. Kelly to get appeal aid from high-profile New York attorney who helped Bill Cosby. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Riverbeds that can shift naturally are more efficient carbon sinks than straightened rivers. Brazil scientists test frozen jaguar semen to help species. Detector advance could lead to cheaper, easier medical scans. Is it worth trying to sway the most staunch climate deniers? A better way to raise chickens for low-intensity, small stakeholders. WA shipwreck reveals secrets of 17th-century Dutch seafaring domination. Honeybees use social distancing to protect themselves against parasites. Building planets from protoplanetary disks. Using AI to provide the world with drinking water. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Saturday, October 30th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The 25 best CBD oils for sale. The moon in your mood. From clowns to buttons, these weird phobias afflict many people. Here's how anesthesia affects your brain. Best testosterone supplements, 5 top products. Why we love fall so much. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Nathan Chen rebounds at Skate Canada after Las Vegas bronze. 4 dead, 11 hurt in crash of SUV carrying migrants in Texas. Chinese firm to pay $91 over dangerous dehumidifiers. Seahawks Chris Carson could miss rest of season because of neck injury, Pete Carroll says. Washingtonians deserve a reliable, resilient ferry system. Anti-Trump group takes credit for Virginia tiki torch stunt. GE bests Raytheon for $1.58 billion Air Force engine project. Former Idaho lawmaker's rape case moves forward in court. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Letters, ballpark boondoggle compassion for veterans anti-racist education single-payer savior taxing the rich. Supreme Court lets Maine's COVID vaccine mandate stand. Man shot by retired Oakland officer is identified. Brave Star says A's should hire Ron Washington as their new manager. COVID, FDA paves way for Pfizer shots for children 5-11. Prince Andrew denies that he assaulted teen linked to Epstein. Letters, buffer zones Facebook seems bad for housing HSR lessens universal mandate. Lottie's and churro waffle sticks at Walnut Creek's new rooted coffee company. Fugees postpone Oakland date, score anniversary tour to 2022. Man punched, carjacked at Oakland Hills supermarket. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Supreme Court upholds Maine's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Weakness arouses evil, Mike Pence slams Biden's Iran policy, says U.S. enemies emboldened. Rachel Christie gets win at University of Houston, days after lawsuit is filed. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz back Lori Smith, Christian website designer seeking Supreme Court hearing. Glenn Youngkin accuses Terry McAuliffe campaign of staging white supremacist actors at event. Supreme Court to hear challenge to EPA power plant rules. Police officials exchanged warnings of Antifa, Black Lives Matter blending in with January 6 crowds. 10 states sue Biden administration over COVID vaccine mandate. DHS issues memo to cancel remain in Mexico border policy. CDC adds mental health disorders to list of severe COVID-19 risk factors. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Add inquiry into NYPD killing of Eric Garner, judge lets Bill de Blasio off the hook. Congress outmatched by oil executives at what was meant to be a defining hearing. Democrats find their Big Pharma bag is making it inconvenient to take on Big Pharma. How to cancel $3.2 million of debt for 20,000 people who went through the carceral system. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Saturday, October 30th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. The Mix, things to do in Chicago October 28, November 3rd. IHSA State Football Playoff Scores. Federal judge denies bid by Chicago firefighters, other city employees to block vaccine mandates. A Chicago full house, Lightfoot is dealt 5 casino proposals, including a pair backed by billionaire Neil Bloom. I vow to keep writing, for justice for Jelani Day. John Wayne Gacy's story reaches out from the past again, with another victim identified. One of the biggest games of Matt Nagy's career might take place without him. The upside-down politics of bill that ended moral belief exemption to COVID tests, vaccine. Polling place, which is the Bears' biggest problem, players, coaches or front office? At Chicago Elementary School, staff, moms, kids step in when CPS cannot keep school clean. The next headlines are from the Times of India. MP, fake gang rape complaint gets woman, son-in-law 10 years jail. Objectionable post on goddess must be junked, HC to Twitter. Biodiversity park to come up on Yamuna Banks in Delhi. Kashmiri girl wins world kickboxing gold. Adani buys 20% stake in Cleartrip. Shakta Kanta to BRBI Gov for 3 more years. Live, Delhi allows multiplexes, theaters to open fully from November 1st. Some pray, others drink, SC won't shut bar near temple. After 11 months, Delhi border barricades start coming down. Modi talks to EU leaders on trade, climate, COVID. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Saturday, October 30th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Particular brilliance, Veronica St. Clair. Toro beefs up downtown, Chivas hits heights. Houston's International Quilt Festival 2021. Rams invade NRG Stadium looking to throttle Texans. Things to do, the best things to eat and drink in Houston this weekend. Things to do, the War and Treaty at Toyota Center. Midnight Mass, a standout horror series on Netflix. The next headlines are about world records making news. Aussie superfish breaks 13-year world record, Daily Telegraph. World's first climate-positive Bitcoin, Mago sets world record, World Record Academy. Swimming Australian Chalmers breaks 100 freestyle short course world record, KFGO News. FINA World Cup, Diaceto sets cup record in 200 IM, Swimming World Magazine. Kyle Chalmers breaks 100 freestyle world record at FINA Swimming World Cup, Sportstar. Man spins football on his finger for 21.66 seconds, sets Guinness record, UPI News. Pumpkin world records you won't believe exist, what are they? Who was behind them? Farming Life. World records from Asher and Clay on first day of racing at Masters Mats, the home of swimming.org. Runner Corey Belmore sets beer mile world record at 2021 finals, Bro Bible. Largest Harry Potter collection confirmed with over 5,000 items, Guinness World Records. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Halloween star PJ Souls looks back at her totally iconic death scene. The Supreme Court may screw us over on climate, too. The apple polishing cloth is everything wrong with society. UK smokers could soon get prescriptions for e-cigarettes. LG TVs will now automatically disable the dreaded motion smoothing for Prime Video. This week's best toys are the ultimate fright for your wallet. FDA authorizes Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for kids age 5 to 11. Award-winning ecology photos remind us that nature is awesome and complicated. The Rock reunites with Jumanji director Jake Kasdan for holiday movie Red One. The Nerds Watch, Best Sci-Fi, Fantasy, and Horror streaming in November 2021. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Rivadavia in Argentina at 112.1 degrees Fahrenheit or 44.5 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 69.52 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 56.4 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Fossil fuels doomed in New York as regulator blocks new gas power plants. Microsoft reclaims title of most valuable public company after Apple falls. Pirate site operator hacked MLB and tried to extort $150,000, feds say. FDA authorizes Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for children 5-11. John Carmack issues some words of warning for Meta and its metaverse plans. 2021 MacBook Pro review, yep, it's what you've been waiting for. There are ominous portents of the end of days in The Witcher S2 trailer. Children poisoned by birthday cake decorations loaded with lead, copper. Congress fails to pin down oil company execs on their bad faith arguments. Microsoft reports it bypassing shrewdless vulnerability in macOS. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Trump-loving Alabama judge fired in unanimous ruling after asking black clerk if he sold drugs to buy new car. Notorious MAGA rioting alt-right troll convicted of assaulting bouncer who booted him out of a bar. Anti-vax NYC firefighters yanked off duty for harassing state senator who had nothing to do with mandate. Trump's Truth Social deal may have skirted securities laws in shadowy corner of Wall Street, NIT. MAGA rioting Marine arrested by FBI after fellow officer identifies him in footage. Trump's social media company stock suffers massive weekly decline. Trump is trying to hide January 6 docs because they are probably incriminating, former GOP lawmaker. I hear it in my nightmares. Victim of neo-Nazi violence recounts Charlottesville riot and harrowing detail at trial. Trump goes off on Twitter in latest radio rant. It's become very boring. MAGA insurrectionist wants trial moved out of D.C. because Biden biased jurors by calling Capitol rioters thugs. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. The UN's big climate summit is ignoring a giant red flag. For a decade, Elizabeth Warren waged war against a student debt Goliath. She finally won. Finally, it's your COP26 End of the World playlist. He was a board member of the Oath Keepers. Now, he's holding state-approved trainings for law enforcement in Texas. Work is so bad that people are quitting in droves. We should see that as a good thing. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's an alien, abc10.com KXTV. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Best Adderall alternatives, top natural OTC Adderall pills to buy, Seattle Weekly. Aptonix, APTX, gains 0.46% on moderate volume October 28, equities.com. Prize winner reveals hunger's role in perception and behavior, Uric Alert. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. The future of longevity lies with digital currency visionaries, Cointelegraph. Can we defeat death? Financial Times. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Saturday, October 30th, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Alien space probes could already be in our solar system. Australia will not officially investigate UFOs UAP. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Saturday, October 30th, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.